Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about my dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be ranking all my American Girl boy dolls. And it's not my first video of ranking my dolls, so I'm going to kind of give the same disclaimers that I have in the past. One of them is this is just for fun. So I do love all my dolls, and so even the ones who are going to be at the bottom of the list are still very beloved. It's just like I had to, what do they call it? Cut hairs to figure out how I was going to put every doll in its ranking. And as I was saying, this isn't my first one. So far I've ranked my historical dolls and my Truly Me girl dolls. And I had to say the same thing both times because I feel like any doll I put at the bottom, someone's going to see that and think, oh, he doesn't like that doll. How rude. I love that doll. But that's not the case at all. I swear. And, once I get all the different categories of dolls ranked, I'm going to do a ranking all my dolls video, which is going to be a beast of a video to do. So I don't know when exactly I'm going to get around to it because I have a couple more categories to rank beforehand. And another thing I want to say before I get started is the dolls I'm going to be ranking in this video, because of when I'm recording the video, they're all in their holiday or winter clothes. But I'm ranking them on their clothes they would wear for the rest of the year, because sometimes the outfit does make the doll, in my opinion. It makes the character, and I just feel the way I feel about them, even though I love their winter clothes, but it may make me like them more or like them less than their regular look, if that makes sense. I'll probably explain the way their current look impacts my ranking of them as I go. And I think that's good, and I hope I don't offend anyone with my rankings because I love all my dolls. I don't know if I've said that yet. But anyway, so starting, I have 16 boy dolls, even though only 7 have been released officially. But I mean, it's obvious I make customs. So starting with the lowest ranking doll, number 16, is Truly Me 77, named Jody in my collection. And to anyone who loves 77, don't worry, I love him too. That's why I have 3 of him. And that's why I was able to put him at the bottom of the list, just because he's the only 77 of my 3 that I didn't customize in any way. So I just felt like, okay, he's basically the most basic 77 I have, even though 77 is perfect as he is and not basic at all. And he's currently wearing a Maple Leaf Christmas outfit, which makes him look so cute that I think he would have been bumped up a lot higher in this outfit if I had ranked them based on the way they look right now. And normally I have him in Mary Ellen's collection. He works at the diner, so that probably impacts the way I ranked him at the bottom too, because his outfit's cute, but it's covered up by an apron and a paper hat covering up his adorable wig. But again, having said that, I love my Jody. I originally got him to be Claudie's little brother, which is why he has the same name as Claudie's little brother. But then I moved him up 30 years and his name is still Jody because I didn't have the heart to change his name because that's who he was to me. So just to be clear, I love my Truly Me 77. And on to the doll ranked at number 15 is Pedro. He is a custom, well, not a custom, I don't want to say custom, but he was TLC, like tender loving care condition version of Kaya. And the reason I had to have him, even though he was in such brutal condition, is because I'm in Canada and the person was really close by and they were selling him for $10 Canadian, which is I think about $6.50 US. I don't think anybody would care if the doll had no head. They would probably buy it for $6.50 US just for spare parts. So to get a doll, I didn't have Kaya at the time I bought him as well. So to get a doll I didn't have, and a doll I at this point only had Logan. Yes, I didn't even have my CYO Kaya sculpt. So I knew instantly that I was going to be able to, did I show him close up? I was going to be able to make him into a really cute boy doll. So I had to, cut the wig into sort of like a surfer style, because normally he's still in my collection up in Joss's world. He works at the snack stand, but now it's winter, so he's just wearing winter clothes while he works at the snack stand. And so I think because I haven't had the best luck getting his wig to cut straight. So I was like, okay, that's a way to rank him low, because even though he's adorable and I love him, the wig is kind of bugging me. And that's my fault. That's on me. So if, I don't think anybody could be offended because nobody else would have this doll. So it's okay that maybe I should have pinned him at the very bottom so nobody could be like, your worst doll is a custom, so it's okay. And speaking of customs, especially customs that I should have ranked differently or I would have expected to rank differently, I'm about to share a doll that's going to have a really long story, and it's my first time sharing him because he's new. I literally just got his outfit on him before I started recording this video. And I originally, okay, so I've had this doll, this custom doll in my mind for a long time. Let me bring him out. No more, hyping him up or hyping him down because I've ranked him so low. So I've named him Tommy, and he is a Truly Me 104 that I've customized. And there are a couple of really big reasons why I don't love him as much as I expected to yet, but he has grown on me a little bit. So as you can see, he's the classic mold boy version, and he's got Tenny's eyes, which alone should make him go into my top 5 immediately because it's my favorite eye color. And I literally bought a doll, Tenny, to be a sort of organ donor because she was local and a really good price. So I thought I'll buy her, harvest her eyes, as morbid as that sounds, because I need to put that on I knew I was going to put it on a classic mold boy doll. It didn't matter if it was 74 or 104. Hopefully I have their numbers right. It just mattered that it was a classic mold because we've only seen them with blue eyes and blonde hair. The hair was styled a little bit differently, sure, but they were pretty much the same doll, but I still needed both versions. And the thing about the boy classic mold dolls is I used to always see them sold locally, secondhand, so for really good prices. So I thought the hard part was over, finding a good price Tenny. And I knew I was going to, because he's also wearing the 76 wig, I don't know if that was obvious. And I knew I was going to get a second 76 doll to do a custom. Long story, I'll get to it when I get to that doll. So I was like, that's perfect. A classic mold boy who's never been shown this way, they've never made him this way. It's going to be great. And so I was waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to sell this doll locally. But then last Thursday, I got my December rewards, berry rewards certificate. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to wait any longer. I'm doing my ranking boy video coming up. I want to have him to share. And so I put in the order, and I'm not even kidding. That night, so I put it in the evening, the order, after hours, to be clear, after, store hours. And then that night, as I was lying in bed, getting ready for bed, I was scrolling through Marketplace as I normally do, looking for dolls that I'm not going to buy. Just want to look at them. And what did I see? This doll being listed so nearby that I was like, oh, perfect. I'm so glad that it happened now because the doll will take at least a couple days to ship. So let me order or reach out to the seller, make sure he's available. I'll agree to go pick him up. And then I will cancel my order tomorrow with American Girl. So she responded right away. I agreed that I was going to go get him on lunch. So the Friday lunch, meaning like the most recent Friday as I'm filming this, and I'll pick him up and then I'll just, after I cancel the order, of course. So I made arrangements with her. We agreed, and I was going to meet up with her the next day. So the next morning I get to work and I immediately call American Girl so that they, because they're not going to have time to ship it anyway. So I wasn't worried about that. And as I was on the phone with them to cancel the order, which I'd never done before, but I'm assuming it's okay if you do within a certain time period, I was on hold and I got my shipping notification. I've never, ever gotten a shipping notification that fast from American Girl. And that's not shade against American Girl. It's just, you just develop an expectation. So here I am now. I've committed to buying him. And I have this doll now, this other order that I've shipped with him in it. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm one day going to have to figure out another doll, which I'm working on in my head to, to customize into another classic mold boy. So I think that already gave me a little bit of a negative feeling, which isn't the doll's fault. It's mine for being so, I need to do it and I need to do it now. But then there was another problem with this specific doll being chosen as the one I was going to put in this character. And when I picked up the doll, I got him home. And the first thing I noticed was he had a really strong perfumey smell. I was like, that's fine. Perfume will fade over time. I'm not worried about it. I'd rather be a pleasant smell than a bad one. So I de-wigged him. It was the easiest de-wigging I've ever had for a boy doll. And, I changed his eyes out and everything. And then as the perfume was fading, I learned it was to cover the stench of smoke. And he is my first cigarette soaked doll, I guess you could say. And he smells so bad. I know people have complained about it, and I've just never dealt with it myself. So I ended up doing what I could to get the smell out. It's really cold out here where I live in Toronto in Canada. And so I just put him in a bag with some fabric softener sheets, put him on my balcony just to be over there for, a couple nights. And it has lifted some of the smell because the cold, I think, sucks out the smell. And I think as the smell fades more, I will like him more. But for now, I needed to get that long story off my chest. I hope you don't mind. because I think I will rank him higher later when the smell is gone. But it is such a disappointing odor to have on your doll. And so, yeah, Tommy is design wise, I think he's nice, and execution wise, I don't think it's my fault. He's low ranked. But now, the good thing I can do is compare him to the number 13 on my ranking, which is my other Truly Me 4, who's not customized, and his name is Cameron. So I'll bring him up close. He's wearing a really adorable outfit, by the way. I think part of the reason he's ranked low too is because the outfit I have him in is, I like it. It's cute. It's what got my favorite. The top is orange, so it's my favorite color. But it's just like a surfing outfit, and that's not that riveting. But this is adorable, so I think he would be ranked higher if this were his regular all the time outfit. So I've already shown you the customized version of him up close, and here he is. So hopefully I can just show you them both to you at the same time. Hopefully neither one of them falls and like knocks over my entire setup. Okay, so they like. Whoop, sorry, I have to get a better grip because I could feel chaos coming. Um, so yeah, hopefully that gives you a little. Let me move my big head out of the way. So you can see there's quite a difference. It's just like the subtle things that make them so different. And I noticed that their lips. I already noticed this, but their lips are painted quite differently too. So they do feel like very different dolls to me. And again, I just hope as the smoke fades and I configured his character, because he's borrowing an outfit right now from another doll who's not wearing it because it's holiday season. And so as I figure out his character a little bit more, I think I'm gonna like him better. So if when I rank all my dolls, my all my dolls video, he's higher up, that's why. It just means I bonded with him better. But right now, it didn't work out. Okay, so let me get these 4 out of here because I want to get this video done so I can get him out of this outfit and put him back on the balcony and, you know what I mean, air him out a little bit more. So let me get to the next 4 and I'll be back in 1 second. I always feel like the next doll, the first doll in the next batch of dolls that I'm about to show, should be a lot higher in my ranking. He should be a doll that I just generally like a lot more than I do. And it's not that I don't love him, it's just I feel like he should be like a top 5 doll or something for a couple reasons. The first one is because of his role in my collection. Let me just bring out, it's Logan. I don't know if that's obvious yet, but Logan, and even though I name him Logan, he is what I consider the mini-me of my collection, of the American Girl world, to be honest, because the way he looks reminds me a lot of how I looked at that age, around, what is he, like 10, 11 years old? And that's really how I looked, like big chubby face and the medium brown hair, the like blandest shade of brown, meaning like that's my hair color too. So I don't want to make anybody else think I'm dogging on their hair color. It's a very common hair color. And the only thing that was a little off, because his eyes originally were gray, but the problem with my Logan is he had those bad eyes that looked down. So I ended up, let me bring him closer. I ended up swapping out his eyes for Rapunzel's eyes, which to me are more of a grayish blue. Even though on the website when Rapunzel came out, they said that they called the eyes bluish green, but I just don't see any green in there. Maybe it's my vision. I just really don't. And so switching, it's like my eyes are like a grayish blue, like a steel blue, I think people would call them, even though they just probably look blue at first glance. So I feel like I have made him look even more like me, and it hasn't bumped him up. The only thing that has almost bumped him up is this outfit, this adorable outfit, because the outfit he usually wears is this one right here, the one that the custom was wearing in the last batch. Get it right. And both these outfits were made by a Canadian collector. She sells them on Facebook doll groups, American Girl doll groups, and they're really hard to get. Whenever she puts up, I normally when she puts them up, they're gone like in a flash. Right now we have a strike going on in Canada Post, so it's a little bit. I think it's just not that I've seen any evidence of her not selling her dolls, her clothes very fast, but I'm saying I wonder how it would affect anybody selling anything in Canada right now. And so I think if this were his original or regular outfit, I might like him a little bit more because he looks so spiffy, but that's not fair. I can't rank him higher just because of what he's putting on or what I have on him right now. And the other reason he should be ranked higher, in my opinion, or just more special to me than he was one of my first few dolls. He was definitely my first boy doll, and he was probably one of my first 5 dolls out of all the dolls that all the American Girl dolls that I have. And I think when they released Logan, the press that they got for releasing their first boy doll really caught my attention. I remember that, and I remember looking at him and thinking, wow, he is so much cuter than the girl. Keep in mind, I don't have a problem with the girl dolls, but the teeth are jarring at first when you're not into the American Girl world. The way they look with their smile is a little off-putting to people who aren't used to it. You get used to it and it's cute and you love it, and I'm there. But seeing him as the first doll, I wasn't familiar with Kai. I didn't know enough about the dolls to know the entire history and all the sculpts that existed. So seeing him, he was like my first introduction into a closed mouth and just how cute. This is a really cute sculpt. Like this, the Kai mold is really, really cute. And I mean, I already talked about that with my custom up there, but yeah, it's just a very beautiful sculpt. So I feel like for that, being the first boy doll and considering him like a mini me, he should be ranked higher, but I just, other dolls I like more. And I can't, you like what you like, right? I still like them, love them. And even though I know people, a lot of, not all a lot, but I've heard that people are upset that they ever went into American Girl boy dolls and that it doesn't make sense and they shouldn't have them. And, it's like, kind of like I don't know, the beginning of the end, but people think it's like a negative thing that they have boy dolls. And I don't think it's ever a negative thing to have something. I think like the inclusion of anything is good. We should want more of whatever whatever diversity means to you. We should have more. We should be more upset by the lack of something that's being included. So, I always have that puzzle in my head of or that quizzicalness. Like, why do people not want this to exist? Shouldn't they just be happy that it exists for someone else? And just be like, oh, good, I can save money. I don't need that doll. But people out there just want, when they don't like something, it's very strange to me. I'm just like, oh, cool, something I don't want. I can save that $125 if I don't like that doll. And then somebody else will love it. But that's not how humans work, I think, sometimes. I said a lot more about Logan than I expected to because I've had him on here so many times. It's like, how do I not run out of things to say about these dolls? Moving on to number 11 in my ranking. It's a doll I've already shown, but a different version. So I'm going to bring out Antoine, who is he's another 77 doll. But as you can see, he's dressed for not just Christmas, he's dressed for like a Christmas slumber party. He's wearing, I believe this is probably a Sophia's. Sophia's is an 18-inch doll brand. They're sold through Target. That's where whenever I buy Sophia stuff, it's through there. And let me bring him closer. I don't want him to lose his blanket, but if he does, it's okay. You've already seen it. And the only thing I did to change him was I just swapped out his eyes for gray ones with the 91 because I wanted to give her dark brown eyes. And, it's just a subtle difference, but I don't like him as much as the last 77 doll that I'll get to later, obviously. And he's in Julie's collection. So he's usually wearing he's wearing her older basketball uniform, the navy one. Navy and white shorts, I think. Navy top, white shorts, I believe. He's had this on for 2 weeks and it's like my brain already forgets. But then when it comes back and it's new, I'll be excited again. And so I don't think I have anything else to say about Antoine outside of that I haven't already said that's important for this video. So I'll just leave it at that. So I can move on to my number 11 doll. He is my number 11 doll. Move on to my number 10 doll. And this is I don't know if I've shown him on here. I might have shown him really quickly. And he's still in development, let's put it that way. So I think that's why he's pretty low. But I love this doll. As in, I love number Truly Me 76 is who he is. But he's my second one. And I can bring him up close even though there's nothing unique about mine. It's just, hasn't been changed anyway. So that's the wig that I mentioned for this doll. Can you still see him? Yes, he's not covered yet. So that's the wig. And I will explain later why I ended up getting a second one. But I think the reason he's ranked pretty low, considering he's a really cute doll I have two of, is because I haven't developed him yet. Have I even said his name is Carlos? Because I'm not even sure if his name's going to stay Carlos. I bought him secondhand, and he came in this pajama set. So I haven't even worked out his character outfit-wise because it's already the holidays. So I thought, okay, good. After the holidays, I'll put more focus into him and figure out who he is because mostly I wanted him to make sure when I customize the other one, I had an unaltered version of him as well because he's like a hard to find doll. And, what's the point of wanting more boy dolls and customizing one and then not replacing him? Because I'm fanatic. And so I think I may like him better later. He's another one who could change in the ranks. I don't know. But right now, love these pajamas, but they don't say anything about who he is as a character. And then the last doll from this section of the ranking is the other classic boy doll, number 74. And he's also in a winter outfit, but this is actually, to me, this is his standard outfit. And I hate hockey, but I love this hockey uniform. It is so cute. It's so detailed and it looks so cute. I know they had girls promoting in the stock images, but how many outfits and things do they make for the boy dolls? So anything, I can't help but want to put, not to be sexist, but I can't help but put anything athletic on a boy doll just because we're so limited to what they offer. And so I think most of the time, I can't think of a single girl doll that I've made athletic, and that's probably bad, but it's not my fault. It's bad on American Girl for not giving us more boy stuff. That's my story, and I'm gonna stick to that. And so I don't know if I have much else to say about him. His name is Rory. I could have at least said that. And I have him on display. So I have another hockey player who'll come out later, and so he's like the American hockey player, and his friend is Canadian, and you'll meet him later. So I think that's it for the. So now I'm like halfway through the ranking already because there aren't a lot of boys. So let me clear these guys out of here and get to the next batch. Right now that I'm in top 10 territory, I don't think I need to feel apologetic about my rankings anymore. The only funny thing I want to say about the next doll is it's another custom. And I always feel funny not putting customs at the top of my rankings because you would think dolls that you create yourself or design yourself is something you would appreciate the most because you did it. You know what I mean? Like you decided how they look. And the customized version of this doll, I don't like as much as the I don't like it as much as the original. And it's a Truly Me 75. His name is Billy, and it should be pretty obvious that he's part of Mary Ellen's world. He's a brother character to Truly Me 79, and so his name is Billy Nguyen. He and his sister are half Vietnamese and half Caucasian, white, however you call it. And he's just wearing Mary Ellen's Halloween costume, Halloween cowboy costume with a pair of Truly Me jeans because it was the closest match I can get to the denim up here. Even though if you look really closely, it's not a perfect match, but he's up high on a shelf, so it looks perfect from that distance. And I don't think I have much else to say about him. The wig itself, I got on eBay, and when I bought it, I thought it was the 74 wig, the American Girl, but it's not. It's it feels a little bit thinner. It looks good when it's on the doll, but when I feel it, it does feel like a thinner. It doesn't feel as high quality as American Girl wig. So they just said it was American Girl wig. They didn't say which one it was, and I fell for it. But I like it. It's fine. I still love the doll. But I'll move on to my ranking of number 7. And I think anybody who's familiar with my videos will probably be surprised that this doll isn't ranked like number 2. His name is Zachariah, and he's part of Courtney's world, and he's the other Sonali boy mold, who is Truly Me 113. He's wearing what would be my most favorite pieces from her collection, from her wardrobe, her mix and match. You know, I love the pink on the sneakers. I love all this acid wash. I'm so jealous of him because 10-year-old me would have killed to wear this outfit, but I wasn't allowed to wear trendy clothes, expensive clothes. So I grew up being told that this was for teenagers and kids weren't allowed to, it wasn't made for kids. So I really believe that. And I lived in a neighborhood where, you know, kids weren't going to school wearing acid wash because none of us could afford it. But my brother could. Somehow my parents could afford it for my brother, my older teenage brother. And so this doll is almost like just the way he is, his aesthetic is, what you call it, vicarious living all these years later. And so I have him set up in Courtney's world at her arcade. I'm just showing off his lunchbox, his Pac-Man lunchbox. And so that's another one of those instances where the cool thing about Courtney is video gaming isn't supposed to be common for girls, especially back in the 80s. You know, if you went to arcades, it was girls hanging out with their boyfriends. They weren't really playing video games. So I think it was supposed to make her kind of a progressive character or just, you know, subversive character. But instead, I had to give all her boyish things to a boy doll because what choice do I have? Give me boy stuff. But yeah, it's, again, splitting hairs. I said cutting hairs before. I meant to say splitting hairs. But again, I love the way he came together. He's a perfect doll, but he's only ranked number 7. And moving on to number 6 is going to be the other Truly Me 75 doll. And I think because I kept, oops, whoa, that could have been bad. I think because I kept his original aesthetic and he is like such a cute doll with the, American Girl doesn't make a lot of very black clothes, or black wigs, clothes. They don't make very black wigs, but he has it's one of the darkest wig colors. So he's just so cute with his dark eyes and the dark wigs. But I don't really know why they painted, I don't know if I should bring it back up. I don't really know why it's not makeup, but he's got like the makeup, maybe to make the eyes look more almond shaped. Yeah, and maybe now that I'm talking about it, it's my first time talking about it out loud. Maybe it's because the eyeballs themselves, the inserts, are so round that they had to just do something to make their eyes look more almond shaped, so that's supposed to create an illusion. It is cute, I like it, but it just, as I was looking at it on the monitor, I was like, that's very painty looking. But okay, so he's the Canadian hockey player who goes with, I can't see him, but the dolls are covering him, the hockey player brought up from the American side. And his name is Mikey. I don't know if I said that yet. I just said his Truly Me number. And so he's got these Maple Leaf shoes that whenever I show them, I like to warn that you should put socks on underneath them if you like them. They look really cute. They fit really well. But the oversaturated dye, particularly the red, has stained his ankles. And if I had known that ahead of time, I would have put socks on immediately. And then he's wearing the Canada jacket. The sweater and the pants are from the new Maple Leaf outfit, uh, cabin something. I don't remember what it's called. But when I opened the outfit on here, I used an old, chubbier bodied doll with the chubbier limbs. So I had a lot of trouble putting it on, and it made people think that the pants were too tight. But they do fit very nicely, in my opinion. I didn't have any trouble getting it up on his legs, and I actually like the skinny jean look on him. I think it just makes him look even cuter. And so he is ranked. What did I say? Number 6, right? Yes. And moving on to ranking number 5 is not a custom, but a CYO doll. And his name is Jericho. And he's not wearing... So I think in the beginning I said they're all wearing their winter or holiday outfits. They're not. I lied because I was thinking about all the dolls who were. So he's not wearing his holiday outfit yet because I haven't dressed him for Hanukkah. But this is... Jericho Feldman is his name. And I have him up in sort of like a ranch scene. He's working on or lives on a farm with his sisters. And he's a CYO, like I said, the fairest or lightest skin tone, which I believe is number 5. Freckles, green eyes, the red short hair. I love red hair dolls. And this is another Maple Leaf outfit. And I'm just saying right now, because my next video is going to be me dressing him and his sisters and other dolls for Hanukkah. And this is a Maple Leaf outfit that I've had on him since I got him. And I haven't looked, I'm not saying it's going to be stained, but I'm saying people are going to find out with me when I redress him for Hanukkah if it does stain at all. We'll find out together. Fingers crossed that it doesn't. And I love this outfit. Even though I would never wear cowboy anything myself, I wouldn't wear a cowboy hat or boots. They're just not for me. I can always appreciate something on someone else or even on a doll. Like the way I appreciate a doll dressed as a hockey character, even though my family tortured me with hockey growing up. My older brother's a hockey player and I had to go to those games sometimes and it doesn't matter what I would do, but I would be miserable. And so it's the same thing where I don't have to love something for me to appreciate it. It's just not for me. This doll, though, is, and that's why he's ranked at number 5. Because, I would hope that the top most dolls would be dolls that I had say in how they look. So that's the third batch. I'm down to the last one. So let me get the final 4 boys up here, and then I'll do a group shot for my favorite thing to do at the end. Like I said, this is the fastest ranking because I'm already in the last batch, top 4. And so let me just jump right in with the final Truly Me 77, and you'll see why he's my number 1 Truly Me 77. His name is Tobias, or can go by Toby, and he's currently dressed for Christmas. But I feel like because of the headphones, it still holds a lot of his character, and so I'm sure you can see how cute he is, even from there, because he has the most unique 77 wig I've ever seen. But I also swapped out his eyes for hazel ones, which I will show you close up so you can see like subtle but so cute difference. But look at this wig. I just, every time I show him, people must be so sick. Anybody who's ever heard me talk about it before must be so sick of hearing about this wig. But look how cute how cute the wig is. So that definitely makes him my most favorite Truly Me 77. The wig alone, but because I customize him too, it just makes him all that much more special. And the outfit he's wearing is, I think I thought it was from 2 years ago, and then somebody told me it's from last year. It's just the boy holiday outfit that came out last year. Fancy plaid? I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It doesn't matter. They don't really release enough clothes for us to have to remember the names. It's that one boy outfit from last year, and the pants are so soft. I don't remember if I said when I was redressing him because I was talking in that video or just telling stories rather than focusing on the dolls. But these pants are so soft. Like, if you don't have them and you come across this outfit, I highly recommend it because it's very cute. It's so spiffy looking. So he's my number 4 doll out of all the boys I have. And it's like, I can easily say I'm ranking all the boy dolls plus some because I have them all. There aren't that many. And my number 3 doll is a custom. His name is Rohan. He's currently dressed for Christmas. So I'm laughing because this isn't really a Christmas outfit. It's almost kind of rude that I'm calling it that. But let me bring him closer because he's a custom number 76. So this is the reason I wanted to replace the doll. This was my original 76, but I wanted to put him in the wig that I took off of Billy when I the number 75 I took the wig off of. And I gave him darker eyes because he had amber eyes originally. So it really did differentiate him from his original look. And this, so if Logan is my mini me, he is my partner's mini me. He's not named after my partner. I still want them to have their own identities. It's just if I were to point at a doll aesthetically and say that's the mini me, this would be my partner. And so they're displayed together as best friends. And the reason I got this outfit here off of Etsy was because I wanted to dress Logan for Diwali this year, as well as because I already have an outfit for him. And then I thought dual purpose, it's kind of Christmassy colors, so he can be fancy for Christmas in his kurta pajama, as well as Logan wearing wherever he went behind me now, as well as him wearing his sort of like dressy clothes. And even though I think they're both wearing running shoes, they're still supposed to be kind of like dressed up. They also want to be comfy. So he may be so highly ranked because I'm biased. If he looks like my partner would as a doll, then obviously I'm gonna think he's really cute. And I just like the fact that he looks so different from the original 76. And I love this wig. I just wish, we had more black haired dolls. And by we, I mean American Girl, because I get all the black haired dolls possible. And so my number 2 doll is one I think probably people would think is my number 1 boy doll. But you're going to see that there's a little bit of a cheat in who my number 1 American Girl doll is. So my number 2 ranked boy doll is Blaine. He's a CYO. And even though I named him after me, he's not me. He's not supposed to be me at all. He's obviously dressed for a Christmas slumber party. And that's why, so he and Antoine are displayed together in Julie's collection. They're usually both playing basketball, but now they're both dressed up for, their Christmas slumber party. And so let me bring the doll forward because he's wearing all Maple Leaf. He's got Maple Leaf moose slippers. I didn't start low enough. And then this is one of their holiday pajama outfits. And this, I believe, this pillow and moose doll came with the blanket that Antoine has. And if you're wondering what his design is, he's a Kaya sculpt, medium skin tone, freckles, and the blonde curly wig, along with the tenny eyes, I guess we can call them, but the light brown decal eyes, my favorite eyes. So of course he was going to have to be, way at the top of the list because he was my first CYO. He was the first CYO I designed, but then while I was waiting for him, I ended up buying a girl CYO on Marketplace for really cheap. So I don't know who I should count as my first. He's my first CYO boy. I guess I could say that. And he looks so cute in this outfit, all ready for Christmas Eve with his little, what Americans would be familiar as a sock monkey doll. This is a sock moose doll. It's just like, we have to Canadian up everything that we do, American Girl wise. Because oops, what was I about to put them off screen? Because Maple Leaf, the sort of subtitle is Canadian Girl. And now, my number 1 doll, I don't know if anybody who watches my other videos has been trying to guess the order. I don't think the way I've talked about this doll, it should be expected that he'll be on this list because he's not actually an American Girl doll, but he is in my collection. His name is Sterling. And I don't think you can blame me for putting him at number 1 or including him as an American Girl doll because look at this cute little face. And he's not my type of doll at all, like aesthetically. Blonde hair, blue eyes is like my least favorite, but there's something so like sympathetic about his face. Like you just want to, what is it? Like you just want to take care of him because he looks so sad. He was, when I came up with the concept, I don't know if you've not seen me talk about him before, he's originally a Gott's little sister doll. Gott's is the original manufacturer of the Pleasant Company American Girl dolls, and they did dolls before American Girl that the American Girl doll molds are based off of. And then when Mattel when they bought American Girl in the early 2000s, people suspect that they came up with the Gott's little sister line to sort of compete or to be their own thing now that American Girl was no longer being manufactured through them. And so he's got the reason I wanted one so badly, because I could see with the closed mouth, he was boy ready, boyish, because they always make them with the closed mouths. And it was the only way to have a boy doll with the old squishy Pleasant Company vinyl. And that's what he is. So I think I would like him a little bit more too. Like that would bump him up in my ranking because of the way he's got the old quality type of doll. And so he's the doll that I tried that Maple Leaf outfit on before, and the jeans just were not going any farther up his legs. And he's wearing part of Kit's outfit because I don't think I finished saying that he was designed to be Kit's friend Sterling, But because this doll originally has a long sandy blonde wig and gray eyes, so I thought I had the same. This is the same wig that the Billy doll has. Ooh, right here, cool. It's the same wig from the same seller on eBay. I don't know if it was I might have they might have come as a 2-pack because somebody said that in my comments once they got the same wig as a 2-pack, and so my intention was to make him sterling because he's described as blonde, gray eyes. I think he always looks sad, like wet eyes or something. So I thought this is the perfect doll because he looks sad. And then when I went to clean him because he smelled, that crayon smell that the old dolls have, he was the worst. Like it's the worst I'd ever smelled it. It was almost like, I hope you don't mind, it's a little bit of a gross thing to say, but it was so strong it almost smelled like BO, like bad body odor. So I did everything. I took him apart. I've never taken apart a doll so hard and tried to clean everything, but as good as I got it, he just smells like faintly of wax. But he definitely doesn't smell like BO anymore. That's for sure. Like he would not be so high, ranked so high if he did. I wouldn't be able to help but rank him lower, or even not include him in the rank. But anyway, yeah. So it didn't work out because the eyes that he came with, after the gray eyes that he came with, after I took him apart to clean him up, the eyes were really gummy. The eyes that when they were popped out. So when I went to put them back in, they broke. They were so hard. You like if you got one in, it was not moving around. Because if you eye swap, you know that you can use a cuticle pusher to move the eyeballs around, and his were not going anywhere. So in all of my attempts to get them in and out, I broke one of them. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? And then I found a pair of blue eyes that they don't have the soft eyelashes like the old dolls did, and his eyelashes did too. But it all came together because, again, look how cute he is. I'm going to bring him back. You're welcome. So I just love this doll so much. So much that even though he's not officially an American Girl, I consider him an American Girl, and I consider him my favorite American Girl boy doll, which is probably blasphemy at this point. So now that I've shared all 16 of my current boy dolls, because as I said, I do have one coming, but I wasn't going to wait for him because I haven't completely decided. And what I think I've decided, I won't have the pieces ready for a long time, at least a month or two. So I didn't want to wait another month to do this ranking list. So now that I've shown them all, let me just put them together as a group for a group shot and then say goodbye once I'm done that. So here are all 16 of my boy dolls as they currently stand. And usually this group shot looks a little bit better, but you probably have noticed that my room is under construction. And once it's finished, it'll be so much easier to do these shots. I just have to get through the next, I don't know, week or so. And thank you for bearing with me while I'm under construction, renovation. And hopefully it'll all be for the better in the end. Anyway, so here are my 16 dolls. Please forgive me for putting Sterling in there. And let me know if you have any rankings or how you feel about boy dolls in general, because I just feel like they're not that beloved. But for those of you who don't like them, I love them enough to make up for it. So thanks for hanging out with me again, and I will see you soon in the next one.